I want you to imagine an 11-year-old girl's room. The door is slightly ajar, and from the hallway, you can see her bed, lined with lovingly placed stuffed animals, and her white desk covered with half-finished drawings and piles of books. The afternoon sunlight spills across the oak floor, and there she is, sitting on her bed, staring at a piece of paper in her hands. That girl, me. And the paper, my X-ray. My spine, curved into the unmistakable shape of an S. Coming home from the doctor's office that day, I was shocked, flabbergasted, but most of all, uncertain. I had just been diagnosed with severe scoliosis, and the doctor had told me that I would need major surgery to correct it. I was filled with fear, but the question I couldn't shake was, will I still be able to dance? I had been dancing since I was 6 years old, and now I was left wondering when the next time I would get to step onto the stage was. I had been dancing through back pain for months, but I never had a name for it. Now I had a diagnosis: severe scoliosis. Dancing had been the center of my life, my relationships, and my identity. Most of my friends were made through dance, but that didn't last for long after I was on the sidelines cheering for them as I'm on the stage dancing with them. That surgery wouldn't just change my body. It would change how I danced, how I moved, and even how I saw myself. If I wasn't a dancer anymore, then who was I? Now, maybe you haven't had spinal surgery, but perhaps you felt that moment before. The feeling of losing something that was once a core part of your identity and of how you saw yourself. Parents, who are you when your last child goes off to college? Teachers, do you know yourself apart from the classroom and your students? Losing a loved one, not getting the role or the spot you had worked so hard for, or a season-ending injury. These are the moments when we have to ask, who am I when I can't be who I expected myself to be? When I came back to dance, months after surgery, my body felt different. I was stiff, awkward, and angry about everything I couldn't do anymore. My center of gravity was completely thrown off, and I lost all flexibility in my back. I also felt like I had lost some aspect of the friendships I had with my teammates. I found myself coming home tired after dance and crying into my pillow, grieving the version of myself I had lost. I remember being backstage at a theater in San Diego, watching my friends perform in our first competition of the season. The stage lights were blinding, my team was performing, but I was alone, in the shadow of the wings, wishing I was out there with them. I felt incapable, but in that moment, I realized something. While I couldn't dance the way I used to, I could discover movement in new ways, and each small step mattered. Redefining your best is what comes next. Pivoting. And in that process, we will find a version of ourselves that we didn't know existed. Surprisingly, I found myself discovering surfing. When I decided to try surfing for the first time after surgery, I had to learn patience all over again. The ocean was freezing, and I kept falling off my board. To be honest, I still often do. I wondered if I'd ever actually catch a real wave. But each time I was able to catch even a small one, standing upright for a few seconds, I felt proud. Progress wasn't flawless, but it was real. What made this possible is something scientists call neuroplasticity. It is our brain's ability to form new connections and adapt after challenges. Each attempt literally rewires your brain, creating new pathways to move, learn, and grow. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back. It's about redefining your best. It's about the small steps, even on the days when you can't find the strength or the motivation. Each act of effort is a choice to define what your best looks like right now. For me, this was trying to reclaim movement in ways other than dance. Each act of effort is a choice to define what your best looks like. Winston Churchill once said, "Perfection is the enemy of progress." The goal isn't perfection. It's strength, patience, and courage. Each act is proof that you're moving forward on your own terms. Sometimes I think about that girl, the one sitting on her bed, terrified of losing who she was, and I wish I could tell her this: you are going to grow into a new version of yourself, and she is stronger than you think. Now, I challenge you. Ask yourself, what does my best look like today? Maybe it's slower, simpler, quieter, but that's enough. That's courage, and that's grace. Each time we do this, we honor our own paths, and we practice the kind of resilience that lasts, not just in big moments, but in everyday life. That's how we keep dancing, surfing, or just simply moving forward through life. And maybe when we look back on the journey, we will realize that the version of ourselves we found and the best we created are stronger and more capable than we ever imagined. Thank you.